Hello my dear friends. Today we are going to discuss the part 3 of complex number, and here we will discuss the most important topic of complex number, that is the modulus and argument of a complex number. So first of all we have to know that what is the modulus and what is argument of a complex number, and we will discuss some questions which are frequently asked in AIAAA and also in the board exam or final exam of class 11. So this point is very much important, and this topic is very much important as in the view of joint entrance, JEE mains and other competitive exam. Basically from this part, modulus and argument of complex number, every year each and every year, mm, at least one question asked in the joint exam. If you see the previous question paper of joint entrance, then you can see that in every successive year they have asked question regarding complex number in related with modulus and argument of a complex number. So basically those who have not seen my previous two video, I have already uploaded previous two video on complex number, in which in the first video I have explained about complex number and basic introduction, and in the second video I have solved some example related to complex number. So here I am going to discuss about the argument of the complex number first, and then we will go to the modulus. We will know that what is the modulus of a complex number. Basically we know that a complex number is represented by x plus iy, or you can say that a plus iy, whatever you want, where a and b are the real number and I is imaginary, where the value of I is root over -1. Okay, so here in the right hand side you can see one figure is given. Here the x-axis represents the real axis and the y-axis represent the imaginary axis. For the sake of convenience we have considered this like this. Okay, so let's study about what is the argument of a complex number. The argument of a complex number defined as the angle inclined from the real axis in the direction of the complex number represented on the complex plane. Argument means the angle formed or inclined by the real axis in the direction of the complex axis. So here is my real axis and this is my imaginary axis or complex axis. The angle formation inclined means in the anticlockwise direction from the real axis to the ordinary axis is known as the argument of a complex number, or which is denoted by theta. It is the measure of standard unit called radians, and its measure is always in radian. So in this diagram you can clearly see that what is the theta here in this. So here I have zooming the photo. Please note this diagram, then you can easily understand what is theta here. So here you can see this angle formation where from the real axis to the point P, where P is the complex number Z, then the angle formation is my theta, and this is called the argument, and we represent argument as ARG of Z. Okay, like this. Next line, see this one. Let see this one. Let z equal to x plus iy be a non-zero complex number. Non-zero means that the value of x and iy is not zero. That means the z is not a non-zero complex number. Can be represented in the form z equal to r cos theta plus I sin theta. As we already know from our previous video and the previous concept of complex number, that z equal to r cos theta plus I sin theta we can represent, where I is the module, where r is the modulus, where r is the modulus of the complex number z, and theta is the argument of the z. That I am saying that in the previous part, that the angle formation is theta, and theta is known the argument of that complex number z. In the figure, let a line represent z equal to x plus iy. See, here one figure is given. Here one plane is given, z equal one point is P given, in which you can see that one complex number is represented by red line from which is starting from the origin, and we have represented the complex number as z equal to x plus iy. Okay, incline at an angle of theta with the positive direction of axis. You can also clearly say from this above figure, modulus arc from figure, that the angle inclined by that point P with the x-axis, or you can say that real axis, is theta, positive. Then in the right angle triangle OMP, then it forms a right angle triangle. This forms a right angle triangle OMP, right angle at M, where we know that M is the right angle, we can represent tan theta equal to y by x, and we can say that theta equal to tan inverse of x. Okay. Since theta is the argument of z as mentioned above, so we know that theta is the argument of z we have mentioned above. So we can also write that argument of z is equal to theta. Here is not written, but we can write that argument of z equal to theta equal to tan inverse of y by x. Okay, you can write this. This is the argument of that number. And what is the modulus? Modulus means if z equal to x plus iy, then modulus of is denoted by mod of z, and it is simply the root over of sum of the square of x square plus y square. Here x square plus y square. Okay, this is the modulus of z. Here you can see that what is the modulus of z. You can see, write this in your copy. From the above figure we can say that by Pythagoras theorem we can apply that the r square equal to x square plus y square in right angle triangle OMP. We can see that r square equal to x square plus y square. Then we can write that r equal to root over x square plus y square. But from the previous concept we know that r is our modulus of z. Then we can say that mod z equal to root over x square plus y square. This is the basic definition about the modulus and argument of a complex number. I am saying again that this topic is very much important for the board level as well as for the class 11 level, and also for the entrance level, for joint entrance, JEE mains, JEE advanced level. Each and every year one or at least one question has been asked in the joint entrance from this topic, modulus and argument of a complex number. Now see what is the principal value of an argument. Previously we have discussed about the modulus and argument. Then now we have to know that what is the principal value of an argument. Okay, so you can see that definition is written that the principal value of an argument is denoted by argument z as we mentioned above, and the principal value of argument of a complex number always lies in the interval minus infinity comma minus pi to plus pi. That means that the principal argument of a complex number always lies between minus pi to plus pi. Okay, so if theta is our argument, then the theta must satisfy this equation, that is minus pi less equal to theta less equal to pi. This is the principal value of argument. Based on this principal value of the argument, we have some property regarding the argument of a complex number. So we have to know this property. These are very much important as the examination point of view. So what is the first property? First property is that argument of z1 by z2. If we have two complex numbers z1 and z2, then argument of z1 divided by z2 can be written as argument of z1 minus argument of z2 plus 2k pi, where k can take the value of 0, 1 or minus 1. Okay. Then here it is given argument of z by z conjugative, that which is conjugate, which we represent by z minus or z bar. Therefore argument of z by z bar is equal to 2 into argument of z plus 2k pi, where is similar from the first point that k can take the value 0, 1 or minus 1. Again, third point, argument of conjugate of z, that is argument of z bar is always equal to minus argument of z. Okay. Then fourth point, if argument of z equal to 0, that means if argument of z equal to 0, then z is always real. Okay. If we have z equal to x plus iy and argument of z equal to 0, then we have z is always real. That means z is a real number or real complex number. Again, argument of z bar is minus argument of z. Sorry, it may be printing mistake that we have discussed already in the point 3. No, not need to. Point 6. Okay, point 6. Point 6 is argument of z1 dot z2 bar is always equal to argument of z1 minus argument of z2. And last point is modulus of z1 plus z2 is equal to if modulus of z1 plus z2 equal to modulus of z1 minus z2. This implies that z1 minus argument of z1 minus argument of z2 is always equal to pi by 2. If this condition satisfies, then this condition must be satisfied. Okay, if it is possible only when this condition is satisfied. Okay. this is some basic property about the argument of a complex number in a complex plane. Okay, now the most important thing, you have to know the value of argument of z equal to cos theta plus I sin theta. We can represent no that z equal to cos theta plus I sin theta from De Moivre's theorem, that we know that z equal to cos theta plus I sin theta is a complex number. So we have to know that in which quadrant. Basically we have fourth quadrant, first quadrant, second quadrant, third quadrant and fourth quadrant. So basically we have to know that in which quadrant the sign of the modulus and sign of the sign of the argument will be changed, or what will be the value of the argument in that particular quadrant. Okay, so here we are taking the argument value as alpha. Then if both cos theta and sin theta are positive, if in a complex number both the real number are positive, that is a is positive, b is positive, that cos theta and sin theta are positive, okay, then the argument of z will be lie in the first quadrant and it is denoted by theta equal to alpha. Okay, if sin theta is positive, cos theta is negative. If in the case real part is negative and imaginary part is positive, that is sin theta positive, then z lies in the second quadrant. That means the complex number represented in the lies in the second quadrant. If we draw the quadrant, then it will be lies in the second quadrant. Okay, here. Okay, then the value of the argument will be theta equal to pi minus alpha, where alpha is my main argument. Okay, third case, if both the real and imaginary part are negative, if sin theta is negative and cos theta is also negative, then z lies in the third quadrant. That means z will lies in the third quadrant, and in this case the value of argument theta will be minus pi plus alpha. Okay, and last but not the least, last point is if sin theta, that means imaginary part is negative, if sin theta is negative and cos theta is positive, if sin theta is negative and cos theta is positive, then z lies in the fourth quadrant. Z will always lies in the fourth quadrant in this case, and in this case the argument will be theta equal to minus alpha. Please write down this table. This is very much important as the exam as it is very much important in solving every question related to argument of a complex number. Finding the argument of a complex number, you have to apply this means rules. If you don't have time, then you can also take the screenshot of this table, which will be very useful in your upcoming topics of that complex number. Okay, let us move to the next topic. Here we will discuss one problem related to the modulus and argument. So it is very simple problem. So I have seen that this question has been once time asked in some region of exam, means for class 11 final exam. I think somewhere it either final or in the half yearly exam it has been asked. That's why I taken the problem. So here the question is given that we have to find the modulus and the argument of a complex number 1 plus 2i by 1 minus 3i. Okay, so what we have to do, we have to take it as z equal to 1 plus 2i divided by 1 minus 3i. It will be 3i, sorry, it will be 3i. Correction, this in denominator it will be minus 3i. Okay, 1 minus 3i denominator. So what is our first step? Our first step is to rationalize this. That means we have to rationalize this so that in the denominator we do not get any complex part. Okay, so for that purpose what we will do, we will multiply denominator and numerator by 1 plus 3i. Okay, so in the third step what we will get, in the denominator we will get 1 minus 3i plus into 1 plus 3i, that means a plus b into a minus b, and we all know that a plus b into a minus b is always equal to s square minus b square. Okay, here the same concept we have applied. Okay, that's why I am taking, consider 1 as a and 3i as b. That's why 1 minus 3i whole square. And taking keeping as it is the numerator. In the third step, we have expand the numerator. That is 1 into 1 is 1. After that 2i into 1 equal to 2i plus 3i, that means 5i, and that 2 to the 6i square, and in the denominator 1 minus 3i whole square. Then in the next step we have done that 5i, and we know that the value of I square is minus 1, that's why 6 plus 6i square can be written as minus 6, and in the denominator 1 plus 9. Okay, after the solving this we will get a complex number minus half plus 1 by 2 I. You can easily solve now, that's why I am not explaining that. After that you can easily solve that. We have to keep it in the complex form. Here minus 1 by 2 I consider as x, and plus 1 by 2 I will consider as my y, and x will be my real part and it will be my y will be my imaginary part. Now we have to find the modulus and the argument. Therefore, comparing the above complex number, if we compare this above complex number with a plus ib, then we will automatically get x equal to minus half and y equal to plus half, as I explained earlier that you have seen that. Then what is the formula for the modulus of z? The formula of modulus of z is mod z equal to root over x square plus y square. So simply I am putting the value of x and y in this place, and I have get the result as 1 by root 2. Okay, that is my modulus of z, that the particular modulus of that complex number. And now we have to find the argument. Then for this argument we first find the tan theta, value of tan theta. So we know that tan theta is equal to mod of y minus y by x. So here first thing you note that we didn't want value of tan theta in negative. That's why I am taking the mod so that I can get the positive value. So what is the value of my y? The value of my y is 1 by 2 divided by minus 1 by 2, which I get 1, and we know that 10 pi, the value of 10 pi by 4 is equal to 1. That's why my 10 get cancelled out. So pi equal theta equal to pi by 4. Now I have to check the sign of x and y, as I discussed in the previous table, this table. So now I have to check the sign of my real part and as well as my imaginary part, and after that I will apply this formula. So here you can see, since the real part of the z is negative, so here x is also x is negative. I know that x is negative, x is minus half, and the imaginary part of z is positive, plus half. So the point lies in the second quadrant. The point will be lying. And what is the value of argument in the second quadrant? That is pi minus theta or pi minus alpha. So we have taken here theta. So what is my value of theta? The value of my theta is pi by 4. That's why I am simply putting the value of theta as pi by 4, pi minus pi by 4, and then I will get the value of argument of z as 3 pi by 4. The simple question is this, about the finding of modulus and argument of a complex number. Okay. Now one more thing, triangular inequality. This is not in the CBSE syllabus, but for the entrance point of view, this is very much important. So what is triangular inequality? We have to know first. So basically we know that in a triangle there are 3 sides, and we also know that the sum of any 2 sides of a triangle is always greater than the third side, and the difference of any 2 triangle is difference of any 2 sides of a triangle is always less than the third side. Based on this fact, here the mathematicians have discussed some basic law that if z1 and z2 are 2 complex numbers, then mod of z1 plus minus z2 is always less equal to mod of z1 plus mod of z2, and mod of z1 plus minus z2 is always greater equal to, that means difference is always greater equal to mod of z1 minus mod of z2. That means the same, the triangular formula, that sum of the 2 sides is always greater than the third side, and difference of any 2 sides is always less than the third side. And in general we can write, if we write that z1 z2 up to zn, that there we have n number of complex number, then we can write that mod of z1 plus z2 plus dot plus zn is always less equal to mod of z1 plus mod of z2 plus dot plus mod of zn. Okay. Now we have to go the proof of the triangular inequality of a complex number, that I have discussed about that what is the triangular inequality in complex number. Now we have to give the proof that I have whatever I have discussed, then I have to give the proof now that the triangular inequality is correct or not. So move to our next proof. Okay, so consider that, let me first consider mod of z1 plus z2 whole square. So from that part we have to discuss. So we have taken LHS as mod of z1 plus z2 whole square, and we know that the mod value of z1 plus z1 plus z2 whole square is equal to z1 plus z2 into conjugate of z1 plus z2. We are considering z1 plus z2 as only one complex number. Okay, we are considering. So we know that z dot z bar is always equal to mod z whole square. So we can apply the distributive law in the conjugate. So we can write in the second step that z1 plus z2 into bar will be distributed over the z1 and z2, then z1 bar plus z2 bar. Now I will simply multiply both the numbers. Okay, then I will get z1 dot z1 bar z1 plus z1 dot z2 bar plus z2 dot z1 bar plus z2 dot z2 bar. Okay, now what to do? We know that z1 dot z dot z bar is always equal to modulus of z whole square. Okay, whole square, modulus of z whole square. So here we are getting that z1 dot z1 bar, so we can write that mod of z1 whole square plus it will be taken as it is, that z1 plus z2 bar. Then here we can write the whole bar, means z2 bar whole bar. If I write z2 bar whole bar, then I will automatically get z2, and z1 bar is there, then here we can write in this form. Okay, then similarly as z1 it will be taken as z2 whole square. Now I am taking z1 square plus mod of z1 square plus mod of z2 square in one side, and here this will be taken as the part, because I am considering this as one complex number, and this is the conjugate of that particular complex number, and we know that z1 plus z1 bar is always equal to 2 real of z. So here we can say that 2 real of z1 dot z2 bar, and which is always less than equal to z1 square plus mod of z2 square plus 2 into mod of z1 dot z2. Now I will distribute the modulus of that multiplication, then I can write in the second step, which is less equal to mod of z1 whole square plus mod of z2 whole square plus 2 into mod of z1 plus into mod of z2. Okay, then here we can apply the formula of a plus b whole square. I can apply the formula of a plus b whole square, that is s square plus 2ab plus b square. Okay, so here we have applied, then we can get the z1 plus z2 mod of z1 plus z2 whole square. After expanding we can get the above relation. This one we can get this one after expanding this. Okay, which is less equal to z1 plus. Now taking positive root, if we take the positive root, then we will get our desired result of the triangular inequality, that is mod of z1 plus z2 is less equal to mod of z1 plus mod of z2. Thus prove our theorem. Okay, that's all for this PDF. Here we have discussed about the modulus and argument of the complex number, and we have discussed one example, and also for the triangular inequality, which is very much important as the examination point of view as well as the entrance point of view. So that's all for this today, and if you like this video and find some value that I have explained, then please like the video and share, and also if you are new to our channel, then please subscribe, and thank you and have a nice day and all the best for your exam.